Hi, 7th graders. We're on lesson 9-1, which starts on page 464 in your textbook. It's on sequences, and our learning targets are identifying arithmetic sequences and writing an expression to find the nth term in an arithmetic sequence. So an arithmetic sequence is a numerical pattern that increases or decreases at a constant rate, or a common difference. So it's going up or going down by the same number every time. So let's look at some sequences. We have 5, 11, 17, 23. We can see that 5, oops, let me change my color. To get from 5 to 11, we add 6. To get to 11, from 11 to 17, we add 6. 17 to 23, we add 6. So we know that this is arithmetic because we're adding 6 every time. Adding 6, adding 6. Okay, so our common difference then we would write is plus 6. And we want to make sure that we write plus 6 so we know that we're increasing and not decreasing. So the next three terms, so we have 23, so we would have 23 plus 6 would be 29, and then plus 6 would be 35, plus 6 would be 41. All right, this one we have 5. To get from 5 to 10, we are adding 5. To get from 10 to 20, we're adding 10. So I can actually just stop right here because I know, since it's changing of what we're going up by, then this isn't 1. So, whoops. So is it an arithmetic sequence? No. Okay, -2 to -4, so we're subtracting 2. -4 to -6, we're subtracting 2. -6 to -8, we're subtracting 2. So we know that it's arithmetic because we're doing the same thing every single time. So our common difference is subtracting 2 or decreasing 2. And then our next three terms then would be -10, -12, and -14. Okay, here we have 5 to 3 is, I'm going to change my marker, -2 again, we're subtracting 2. 3 to 1 is -2. 1 to -1 is -2. So our common difference again is -2. And then our next three terms would be -3, -5, and -7. So if we are given an arithmetic sequence and we want to figure out what the 100th term is, or a term that's way a really high number, but we don't want to sit and go and figure it out until we get to 100, we can create an equation to help us solve it. So this is our equation. It would be whatever the common difference is multiplied by n plus the term before the first term. So I would pause me and write this equation down, or this formula down. Okay, so what does that mean? So if we have this arithmetic sequence, the one that we just had, we have 5, 11, 17, 23, and we want to figure out what is the 10th term. Yes, we could sit and we could figure it out. It will take us a little bit longer than just making an equation and figuring it out from there. So n equals 10. Our common difference, we're going up by 6 every time. So I'm gonna just write this right here. Our common difference is plus 6. Okay, and then the term before the first term, which we sometimes call the 0 term, because I guess 0 is right before first. So when we say the term before the first, we would, I don't have my mouse, so it's taking me a long time to write these words, I'm sorry. So if we have our first term, which is 5, and we know that we're going up by 6 every time, then we would do the opposite to figure out what would be the term before. So 5 minus 6 then would be -1. So if we went backwards, our 0 term would be -1. Okay, so now we have everything that we need. So our common difference, we said, is 6, and then our n is 10. So 6n plus -1 is our equation that we're going to do, and then we'll plug in n a second, because 6 is our common difference, and the term before the first term is -1. Okay, now let's rewrite this with our n. So we have 6 times 10 minus, because plus -1 is the same as -1. So 6 times 10 is 60 minus 1 equals 59. So our 10th term is 59. Okay? And this little thing is getting in my way. There we go. All right, so let's do another one together, and then I have 2 more that you'll do on your own. And then that will be it for the video. So hopefully it'll be a little bit shorter than the last 2 videos that we've done. Okay, so we have -2, -4, -6, -8. So we can see that we're decreasing by 2. So our common difference is -2. And our 0 term, because we start, our first term is -2. So since we're going backwards, or we're decreasing by 2 every time, we're going to do the opposite. So -2 plus 2 would be 0. So now our equation would be, so our common difference is -2, n plus 0. We don't even need to include the 0. So now I'm going to rewrite it with my n. So -2 times 100 plus 0 is just nothing, so -2 times 100 equals -200, which makes sense because we're getting lower and lower, so our negatives are getting, we're going backwards, so our numbers should be getting higher because we're going more into the negatives. Okay, so I want you to pause me and do these 2 sequences. This one with 15, 5, -5, and -15, and then 5, 3, 1, -1. Find the common difference and find the 0 term. So the common difference of this one is decreasing by -10. The 0 term would be 25. So the equation then is -10n plus 25. So we'd have -10 times 25 plus 25. So we would have -250 plus 25 would be -225. Here we have our common difference. Oops, it's not letting me. Okay, now I'm running out of room. Our common difference is decreasing by 2. Our 0 term would be 7. So our equation then is, there, that's what I needed. So our equation then is -2 times 20 plus 7. So we'd have -40 plus 7. So it would be -33. All right, log into NICU and do the 9-1 NICU quiz. And make sure to look in your book because there's lots of different types of problems in there if you still have questions. And have a super evening, and I will see you tomorrow.